Hi, it's Gary Hewitt here from the Thought Knocks YouTube channel, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm up to. I've spent a lifetime producing software, and I've always worked for somebody else. I've produced a number of systems that have literally run for 17 years in production. Seems to be a magic number for me for some reason. Over the past 40 years. Now what I'm doing is, for the first time, I'm building something for myself. Now, I may not be qualified to do this, not in terms of the software development, but there's a whole bunch of things about business development and learning. It's a completely different thing when you put on the entrepreneur's hat and build a company. So part of what I'm doing is I'm trying to do this as open and transparently as I can, and sort of sharing the journey as I go. But it's more than that. I want to help other creators, other talented people who need to spend a lot of time in maker mode, like I do. Heads down, just getting that creative focus and sticking on a challenge until you solve it. There's a lot of people like that. They're very, very talented, but when they go to put on the entrepreneur hat, it's kind of like, okay, what do I do now? So I'm hoping that this can serve not exactly as a blueprint. I really don't like that word, because the problem with a blueprint is you'll build exactly the same thing, and that's not what a creative person even wants to do. The whole point behind creativity is to build something new and unique. What I want our systems to do is to inspire and sort of shine a light on how things might be done. Now, I'm probably going to make a lot of mistakes. All of the research that I've done says, yep, you will make a lot of mistakes. So expect that. And when you make a mistake, the important thing is to pick yourself up, make a course correction, understand the lesson that the mistake contains. That's the important part of a mistake, is getting that lesson going, that's why that happened. Therefore, I need to do this instead. So you'll see me, pick myself up and do that over and over again. Bill Harris from Centerpoint once said the only way to be unstoppable is you just don't stop. Now, as corny as that is, that's literally the secret. You just pick yourself up and move on. So I will be doing a lot of that. Now, what are we doing? We started with a product in communication. It's kind of like chat. We put a little bit of chat into a web browser. And you say, like, why on earth would you do that? There's chat everywhere. There's text everywhere. There's all kinds of apps and so on. Well, first of all, it's emphatically not an app. We did not want to go down the app route for a whole bunch of reasons. If we can pull this off in a web browser, which we kind of have, then there's zero installation. The other thing that we bring to the table, is that this is anonymous. So you can have two people meet, and our design is specifically so it's kind of like face to face. There are other ways to do this, but that kind of defeats the purpose. If you meet face to face, then using a QR code, you can initiate a conversation between the two of you without sharing any personal information. So in some circles that's important. In other circles it doesn't make much difference whatsoever. But there's a number of domains, circles, if you will, that we figure this will work with. We started with 4, and in talking to people we've actually come up with about 6 or so. And so we'll be exploring them as we go, trying to figure out if this is a fit. Does the market want it? Because if the market doesn't want it, then what's the point? But we've looked at each of the spaces, and we've solved some of the challenges. A colleague recently told me they went to a business speed networking event, and they sat down at table number 1. Everything was fine. and then the dinner bell rang or whatever it was, and time to move, and everybody got up and moved, and they ended up changing tables, but ending up sitting with the same people again. It's like, okay, so if fairly sophisticated organizations can make mistakes like that, our goal is to produce a playbook step by step that can be used to do these events, and so that the movements are all mapped out and all reliable, and we've got the software to initiate conversations that may go on afterwards. So if you meet somebody that you want to talk to or an extended period or find out more, you can do so again without having to share your email or your phone number. So that you can have that conversation, you can find out what you want to find out, and you don't end up on somebody's mailing list, or you can be bombarded by text or whatever. I think that's a big deal. I don't know. Maybe nobody else does, but that's okay. We'll learn what we'll learn, and if I can use what I'm doing to help other people see, oh, okay, if I have a product, here's my next step, here's my next step, here's my next step, etc. We're following a lot of other people's playbooks that have shared them. You'll hear me mention a bunch of names. I'm not going to put them in here, but over time you'll see me point out different techniques that I've learned from so and so and so and so. And like I say, I will be absolutely terrible at them until I'm not. Because the only way to get better is to get on the field and do it. This is experiential learning. Now, it differs from other types of learning. There's a lot of things that you can't learn experientially, and there's a lot of things that you can't learn any other way than experientially. So this is my experiential learning journey, because I'm used to the textbooks, I'm used to studying, I'm used to like the math, the science, the just reading mountains of documentation. That's my world, and this is a completely different world. And I got to admit, it feels different. Sometimes it feels invigorating. Sometimes I go like, aha, I've got this, I know exactly what to do. And then other times it's like, oh, I really struggle to get in front of the camera, to record my thoughts, and map out this journey. So like I say, I'm doing this hopefully to help other people. And it may be a while yet before I get to the point where I can actually help people. We'll see. But I'm putting it out there, and this is what I'm up to. So stay tuned. It'll be an interesting train wreck if nothing else. Hopefully it'll be an exciting journey, and we'll actually get to help a lot of people, meet a lot of people. So that's one of our core themes. Some of the research I've done on longevity, living longer. Let's stick with that. Longevity, there we go. Okay, so some of the research I've done on longevity has to do with how many people you have in your network, the size of your friends, and the research on how well you do in business again has to do with the size of your network. So literally that old saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I think it's a combination of what you know, because there are a lot of idiots that know a lot of people, and yeah, they can take money, but taking money from people is radically different from creating value and introducing that to the world. So I'm focused on that value creation, improving other people's lives, and at earning a respectful amount of money based on that value that I provide. But that's a side effect. What I want to do is continue down this path, produce what I'm going to produce, set it out to the world. We're doing dry runs now, and listening to people, getting feedback, in the hopes of making a better product or better series of products. We got lots of ideas that we're gradually implementing as we go. Could you try again? Oh. And apparently Siri wants to be on the mix here, so nope, I'm not going to try that again. Okay, there's literally a train wreck in progress. Lots of feedback, and we're gradually implementing this into the system as we see the value that this could add to the largest number of people. So that's it. As usual, I ramble. I'm not on script today. I have a prompter. I have a great camera. Now all I need is a better face and a better voice, and we'll be all set. You got to work with you got to work with what you've got. That's it. A face for a face for print and a voice for or a face for radio and a voice for print. That's it. That's what we have. So that's it. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you at some point in the future, and I look forward to hopefully showing off our product to you at some point in the future.